Lexington, South Carolina, a town where life moved at a slower pace. Summers were long and hot, children played in the streets, neighbors knew each other, people left their doors unlocked. It was a place where time seemed to stand still, a place where nothing bad ever happened. But beneath the surface of this idyllic town, darkness lurked, a darkness that would shatter the peace and forever change the lives of its residents. It was a darkness that arrived on a humid spring day, a day like any other, until it wasn't. The year was 1985. The world watched as the new Coke fiasco unfolded. Meanwhile, in Lexington, people went about their daily routines, unaware of the storm that was about to break. The calm before the storm was a fragile thing, a delicate balance soon to be tipped. Life in Lexington was about to change forever. A dark cloud was moving in, threatening to consume the town and its innocence. The darkness would leave an indelible mark, a scar that time could never fully heal. The story of Lexington is a story of innocence lost, of a community forever marked by tragedy. May 27th, 1985, dawned like any other day. The sun rose over Lexington, casting its warm glow on the peaceful town. Birds chirped in the trees. Children ate their breakfast, ready for another day of school. But for one family, this day would be tragically different. Sherry Faye Smith, a bright-eyed 9-year-old with a contagious laugh, was excited about the school carnival that evening. She skipped out of her house, eager to meet her friends. She promised her mother she wouldn't be late. It was a promise she wouldn't keep. Hours passed. The sun began to set. Sherry's family grew increasingly worried. She was a good girl, always home on time. Where could she be? Panic started to set in. Something was wrong. Very wrong. The search began. Neighbors joined forces, combing through streets and backyards. The police were called. The news spread like wildfire. The idyllic town of Lexington was plunged into a nightmare. The disappearance of a child shattered the illusion of safety and innocence. Fear and uncertainty gripped the hearts of everyone. Days turned into sleepless nights. The search for Sherry continued, but hope began to dwindle. The community, once vibrant and full of life, was now shrouded in fear and suspicion. The disappearance of a child had a way of doing that. Whispers turned into accusations. Neighbors, once friendly and trusting, now eyed each other with suspicion. The fabric of the community began to fray at the edges. The fear was palpable, a heavy weight pressing down on everyone. The police worked tirelessly, following every lead, every hunch. They interviewed countless people, desperately seeking any information that could lead them to Sherry. The pressure was immense. The town held its breath, praying for a miracle. But as days turned into weeks, the grim reality began to set in. The hope of finding Sherry alive grew dimmer with each passing hour. The town of Lexington was trapped in a nightmare that refused to release its grip. Just when the darkness seemed all-encompassing, a flicker of hope emerged. A phone call, a man's voice. He claimed to have Sherry. He sent a letter. He detailed horrific acts. He taunted the police, playing a sick and twisted game. The town clung to this sliver of hope, praying that Sherry was still alive. Could this nightmare have a happy ending? Could their little girl be returned to them, safe and sound? The possibility, however slim, was enough to keep hope alive. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. On June 27th, a month after her disappearance, a fisherman made a gruesome discovery in a wooded area near I-20. A child's body, small and lifeless. It was Sherry. Hope died that day. The news spread through Lexington like a virus. The town wept. The community that had come together in hope was now united in grief. The realization that a monster had walked among them sent shivers down their spines. The hunt for Sherry's killer intensified. The police, driven by a mix of grief and fury, worked around the clock. They followed leads, interviewed suspects, and chased down dead ends. The pressure was on. They had to catch this monster before he could strike again. The killer, emboldened by his success, made another call. He taunted the police, bragging about his crimes. He threatened to kill again. He was playing a deadly game, and he was enjoying every minute of it. But he had made a crucial mistake. He had left a trace. The FBI, now involved in the investigation, traced the call. They zeroed in on a suspect, Larry Gene Bell, a quiet, unassuming man who lived on the outskirts of town. He was a monster hiding in plain sight. The net was closing in. The police obtained a search warrant for Bell's home. They found evidence, incriminating evidence. The game was over. Larry Gene Bell was arrested on July 4th, 1985. The news of his capture spread through Lexington like wildfire. People could finally breathe again. The monster was caged. But the relief was short-lived. Bell's trial was a media frenzy. The nation watched in horror as the details of Sherry's abduction and murder were revealed. Bell, it turned out, had a history of violence against women. He was a predator, a sadist who enjoyed inflicting pain. The jury found Bell guilty. He was sentenced to death, but even the death penalty couldn't bring Sherry back. It couldn't erase the pain and suffering he had inflicted on her and her family. The trial may have been over, but the scars of Bell's crimes ran deep. Lexington had been forever changed. The innocence was gone, replaced by a chilling awareness of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface. In the wake of the trial, Lexington was a town reeling from shock and grief. The streets were quieter than usual. The laughter of children, once a familiar sound, was now a rarity. The town was shrouded in a palpable sadness. Yet, even in the face of unimaginable tragedy, the community of Lexington found strength in unity. They came together to mourn the loss of Sherry. They offered support to her family. They vowed to never forget her. There were candlelight vigils where tears flowed freely, and stories of Sherry's infectious laughter filled the air. There were fundraisers to support her family and to build a memorial in her honor. There was a collective determination to find a way to heal, to move forward without forgetting the past. The people of Lexington, bound by shared grief and a deep sense of community, found solace in each other. They learned that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit has an incredible capacity for resilience and compassion. Time, it is said, heals all wounds, but some wounds run too deep, leaving behind scars that never truly fade. The murder of Sherry Faye Smith left an indelible mark on Lexington. It was a wound that would forever alter the town's identity. The fear that gripped the town in the summer of 1985 lingered long after Larry Gene Bell's conviction. Parents held their children a little tighter. Doors that were once left unlocked were now bolted shut. The world, once a place of wonder and innocence, now seemed fraught with danger. There were whispers, rumors, and speculation. The trial had ended, but the questions lingered. Why Sherry? Why Lexington? Why did this have to happen? There were no easy answers, no explanations that could truly satisfy the town's collective grief and anger. The trauma of that summer lingered in the air, a constant reminder of the darkness that had visited their town. It was a darkness that would forever be etched in the memories of those who lived through it. The murder of Sherry Faye Smith was a tragedy that extended far beyond the borders of Lexington. It sent shockwaves through the nation, shattering the illusion of safety in small-town America. It forced people to confront the uncomfortable reality that evil could lurk anywhere, even in the most idyllic of settings. The case became a chilling reminder of the vulnerability of children and the depravity that some individuals are capable of. It sparked conversations about child safety, stranger danger, and the importance of community vigilance. It led to changes in law enforcement procedures and a renewed focus on protecting the innocent. Sherry's story, though tragic, served as a catalyst for change. It highlighted the importance of community, the need for open communication, and the power of collective action. It demonstrated that even in the face of unimaginable darkness, there is always hope, resilience, and the potential for growth. The legacy of Sherry Faye Smith, though forever intertwined with tragedy, is also one of resilience, awareness, and a community's unwavering determination to honor her memory by striving for a safer world. The darkness that descended upon Lexington in 1985 will never be forgotten. It is a part of the town's history, a scar that serves as a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the capacity for evil that exists in the world. But it is not the only story Lexington has to tell. In the years since Sherry's death, Lexington has grown and evolved. New families have moved in, bringing with them their own stories, their own hopes, and their own dreams. The town has worked hard to heal, to rebuild, and to create a brighter future for its children. The memory of Sherry Faye Smith continues to serve as a powerful reminder of the importance of community, compassion, and vigilance. It is a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable darkness, the human spirit has an unyielding capacity for love, resilience, and hope. The story of Lexington is a story of loss, but it is also a story of hope. It is a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit and the power of community to overcome even the darkest of times. It is a story that continues to inspire, to challenge, and to remind us that even in the face of tragedy, there is always light to be found.